Everybody, what's going on? Good evening. This is Chase back at you, getting up close and personal there with another video. So, again, there is no script to today's video, and there's just some thought that went into it, a little bit of thought about what today's topic would be. So, what I want to talk about in today's short video has to do with how we view other people. It's kind of a broad way of saying it. A better way of saying it might be how oftentimes we unfairly judge people too quickly. This is one of my biggest growing points in my self-development and my self-journey career, if you will. Oftentimes I find myself viewing people in certain ways, either positively or negatively, too quickly. Oftentimes it's negatively too quickly, but sometimes I view a person as being this great, amazing individual. Then I get to know them for weeks or months or even sometimes years. And the more time that goes by, the less impressed I am, the more disappointed I am in certain people. Let's stop and think for a second. I'm sure we've all had those kinds of relationships. I'm guessing we probably have more relationships or more past experience with judging people too quick in a negative way, and then the person grows on you. But I'm sure if you think hard enough, you'd be able to think of an acquaintance, friend, somebody along that spectrum that started out with your praise and then they became less favored in your praise. Let's put it that way over time. And something in a personal development book I'm reading right now, it's a concept of neutrality and the importance of neutrality. And this can be applied in a lot of areas of our life. Everything from remaining neutral after we find out bad news, but also remaining neutral after we find out good news, or remaining neutral after somebody or something happens in a way that we didn't expect. Again, both positive or negative. Most commonly thought of by a lot of people as starting out negative. So one of the advantages you give to yourself when you observe more and don't come to a conclusion as quick, when you're more quick to observe but slower to judge, is you get to see the whole, you get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly about people and about things. And the slower we are to form judgments, ultimately, the better, right? Because, like I just listed, like I just said, you give yourself more time to see the true nature of people, of things. But it's also a good sign of self control and mental fortitude. You might be thinking, what? That's crazy. Like, how would waiting a little bit longer in terms of the judgment that I form on other people be reflective of my mental health, or not just my mental health, but my, well, in a sense, mental health, right? And my ability to delay gratification. It's delayed gratification in a way when you think about it, because it's not just about grabbing the cookie out of a cookie jar, and if you can resist grabbing that cookie, it's the same thing with judgment, right? Because evolutionarily speaking, as so many of us know, as all of us know really, forming judgments was important to determine our safety. So let's think about it from that perspective as well. If we give ourselves more time to come up with a judgment about somebody, you might be thinking, oh, that's potentially dangerous because by that time someone could have, you know, been evil or something like that. And while that does stand to be true, that's something we've grown out of a lot more with modernism, really. A lot of our situations don't involve life or death every day, at least for most of us and the vast majority of us. And even those who are doing dangerous things, still the majority of the time, it does not involve life and death. So we're able to afford more more time to come up with those conclusions. And the benefit of doing so is not only maintaining the friendship, the relationship, the contact, however you want to view social interaction with people, as it either being opportunities for you, or if you view it as just being, again, neutral and wanting to give fair judgments on people, the longer that we wait to give those judgments, ultimately, the better. I don't want to keep droning on and talking in circles. I realize I've said the same thing or similar things. I've provided context and different examples, but I've essentially said the same thing in a lot of different ways in this video. I hope that the ways that I described the concept of delaying judgment and opening our ears and being more open-minded sooner, the better. And that can have ginormous benefits in our lives, and it's tough to do, but I really encourage it. And it's one of my it's one of my opportunities for growth, my strongest growth opportunity areas. In other words, it's one of my weakest areas, right? Could have just said that. Hope that you all have had a good day today, and we will talk soon. Take care.